Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Head-to-Head Battles. Today we have for you on the table a deck profile. We're doing Salamangreat today. My take on Salamangreat, okay? So we have two spots in the extra deck right now because we wanted the Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix, which we don't have, okay? So we're gonna go straight into the deck profile. So today we're running single Gazelle because that's all we are allowed. If you don't know Salamangreat's, it has great recursion from the graveyard and has a lot of special summoning mechanics where you know if a monster is special summoned or normal summoned to where a link monster's arrow is pointing to, you can special summon cards from hand or graveyard. Next, we're running 3 copies of Salamangreat Foxy. We're running 3 Salamangreat Spinnies. This card is really good because if it's in the graveyard, you can special summon it right onto the field. We're running 3 Flame Buffalos. The Flame Buffalos helps us to draw 2 if it's sent from field to graveyard. So if this is the only card in your hand that you only have 1 normal summon, you can normal summon this and then go off into a Balance and draw 2 and hopefully draw into an extender, okay? Next, we're running 2 copies of Jaguar. Now, we're running 2 Sea Archivers. Now, the Sea Archiver doesn't work too well because it is a water monster and not a fire. But with the way Sea Archiver works is, if you can discard it and use this graveyard effect, it's an effective +1. Because if you summon something to where a link arrow is pointing to, you can special summon Sea Archiver back from the graveyard. Next, we're running 1 copy of Lady Debug. A lot of people are opting not to run it, but there are combos where you can go like +3, +4 just off of Lady Debug alone. So I feel like it's actually pretty worth it. Now for our 1-ofs, we're running Foul and Falco. So it's a pretty generic Salamangreat package with the addition of the Sea Archiver, okay? Try it out in your build. It might work for you actually. Next, we're running our hand traps, running 2 Ashes, running 2 Ogres, running 3 Nibirus. So that's it for our hand traps. I feel like this is a pretty good ratio because, especially if you're main decking, you don't know what kind of decks you're going up against. So I feel like this is a decent ratio. You can go a little bit more and just try running a 3rd Ash or a 3rd Ogre and just play a 41 card main. But I feel like for now, for the main in today's meta, I feel like this is probably the way to go. Now for our spell cards, we have our 1 circle because that's all we are allowed. Now, we are running a budget Salamangreat deck. So a lot of people are saying, why are you not running Signet Mining? So we have 3 Signet Mining proxies here. You can run Signet Mining, right? But then that means you'd be spending about $150 for a playset of Signet Mining. From recent playtesting on online and IRL, Signet Backdoor is pretty good, okay? So the one downside to Backdoor is there's an extra step involved, right? So you can banish a card, a Cyberse monster you control, you have to banish it, and if you do, you can add 1 Cyberse card from your deck to your hand, but attack has to be lower than the original monster's attack. So it's very situational, but let's say, you had your Foul up, which is what, 1800 or 1700, then you can essentially add any of your combo pieces back into your hand, okay? So 3 Signet Backdoor. Next, we're running 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary for the Balinks, right? For the Balink summon. Then we're running 2 Will of the Salamangreats. We were playing 1, but we bumped it up to 2 because it helps extend your plays. If you have it on field, and even if it gets popped, you have a second one to extend your plays into, okay? Next, we're running 3 CBTGs. It's called by the grave. I hyphened it because all brawn, no brain. You don't want to get Ash in this deck and you don't want to get Ogre. It will literally stop you in your tracks, okay? Next, we're running 2 Twin Twisters because you don't want to lose to back rows. The meta is kind of shifting towards a more control style deck and all these rogues run a lot of back rows. So if you don't want to lose to a rogue deck and throw your deck box across the room, 2 Twin Twisters can do that for you, okay? And you can always pitch a Spinny and other Salamangreat cards into the graveyard for recursion and for play extension, okay? So you get a +1 and you're making your opponent go -2. Well, it's not really a +1 because you're also discarding for cost, but I mean, you'll still come up, you know what I mean? Next, we're running 2 Rage and 2 Roars. So we're running 2 of each because a lot of the decks in today's meta have good recovery. So this card, if you use it, yes, you can get it back through Sunlight Wolf, but I feel like if you have more back row, they have more to target and less of a chance for you to lose an important piece, okay? So let's go straight into the extra deck. We're running triple Salamangreat Balinks. Now for Salamangreat decks, the extra deck is pretty tight. So I'm saving 2 spots in my extra deck, the 2 Pyro Phoenixes. I've been testing it online and it works flawlessly, okay? Next, we're running 3 copies of 3 Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. We're running 2 Heat Leos, okay? We're running 2 Mirage Stalios because if you can't get it back through Jaguar and shuffle it back, it's good to have a second one, okay? Just in case one gets outed and you can't get it back, then you lose your extender pieces, right? So run a second one and be able to go into it, right? And you're running 2 ashes, and ashes is a fire rank 3, so you can also use it, you know, worst case scenarios if you drew into ash and it becomes a brick, right? Next, we're running 1 Hita, the Fire Charmer Ablaze. It's really good for the mirror matchups, and if you're playing against Sky Strikers, you can take their Kagari as well. Ooh. And then we're running 1 Borlo Dragon and 1 Update Jammer. So this is 13 cards. Like I said, the last 2 spots are for the Pyro Phoenix, okay? Now, Update Jammer, why is it good? During the battle phase, during damage calculations, it effectively acts as a skill drain for all your opponent's effect monsters. This card allows you to not get negated if their opponent does have a negate. Like I said, it negates the whole board, okay? That's it for our Salamangreat Deck profile. We added our Instagram down below. So if you are a winner in the giveaway, you have to DM us or we're not gonna know where to send the card to. We don't want to ask you to put your private information in the YouTube comments, right? Nobody wants that. You don't want that. So make sure to DM us on Instagram so we can send you out these free cards, man. It's free. There's no purchase necessary, okay? It's free. So come back tomorrow for a video that I don't know what we're gonna do yet. On Thursday, we may or may not have another deck profile, but it's gonna be a dope video nonetheless. Friday is our live duels. Always come back for that. We really try our best to edit those. And next Monday, interesting video, okay? Stay tuned for that. So, this is Susu from HeadToHead Battles, signing out.